Hailstones Hurling starts now. Welcome to Kiva Sports Center, located in Middleton, Wisconsin. You are looking upon Michael J. Stott's Field, where the players play. Tonight we have a matchup between green and red, a rematch of last week. Standings: blue still atop the leaderboard with 3 wins and 1 loss. Gray right behind them with 3 wins and 2 losses. Red is 1 and 2. Green still alive but fighting at 1 and 3. Your rosters for today. For the red team: Paul Anderson, Ben Bars, Joel Bodilli, Matt Daly, Derek Hayes. Will Jackson is subbing for Connor Jones, John Kenny, Jake Martell, Mike Naprala, and Mike Stapleton. I'm Bill Jones, and I'll hand it over to my partner, Heath Moore, the world's only colorblind color man, to fill you in on the green team.
All right, the green team, which is looks black to me, is Eli Berg, Fergal Crowley, Brian Rowdy Dowling, Connor Gorilla Shark Drillishak is being subbed or replaced by Tamis Tree Peterson. We have Phil Foyts, Kevin Hobbins, Marcus Kennedy, Alan Morris, Mark Smith, and Craig Wagner rounding out the roster this morning.
Yeah, really haven't seen much of the Gorilla Shark since early on in the season. I wonder where he is.
Since I gave him his nickname.
That's
so
right.
I've been really upset about that because I really want to yell out Gorilla Shark. I haven't
Exactly.
had the opportunity.
Your time will come. Your time will come.
I'm holding on to hope.
All right. Well, we've got a rematch of last week, a game that ended with only a 2-point difference and a bit of a goal or save controversy still surrounding it. What do you see for this game as anything different that might come out?
You know, pretty much as any of these games go, it's you have to neutralize the top tier players on the opposing side. You know, the Derek Hayeses of the world, the John Kennys of the world. For green, Alan Morris and Rowdy will be those players that have to be neutralized to really have a shot.
Yeah, last week it was the Alan Morris show. I mean, he was actually in the running for man of the match despite having a losing effort. It certainly was not for lack of trying on Green's part. But red, they just were too much. They jumped out to a huge lead. I would imagine if I was Green captain Phil Foyts this week, I'd be saying, look, guys, we can't fall behind 19-0 again and expect to win, even though they did level it at halftime. It's just too much to try and maintain. If they can keep this game close the first 10 minutes, Green may have a much better position to finish out at the end. All right.
So you're saying that getting more points than your opponent really is the key?
Exactly, and that's a 2-part strategy here, both scoring goals and stopping goals. Yes.
Interesting. That's deep, compelling, and rich.
8-hour coaching clinic, and we kind of came up with that one.
Good.
Yep. All right, so we're ready. Brian Murphy throws it in. That's Kenny, scoops it up, grabs it to his hand. That's over to Rowdy Dowling, to Tree. Tamis subbing in for the green team. Bars flicks it up, but it's all to green players. It's Morris. Morris grabs it to his hand, looks across the field, and he sees a hand pass, but that's Nappy comes back to block off Kennedy. Kennedy right it to a wide open Phil. Phil tries a hand pass over to Morris, but it looks like it went into the net.
Yeah, just an errant hand pass there from Phil Foyts for a sideline cut there. Looks like John Kenny taking the sideline cut.
The Kenny cut comes into the field, but straight over to Rowdy Dowling, who takes a hard shot over there. That's Ben Bars, who had a great game last week. He flicks it over to the corner. I believe that's Alan Morris. Takes it to his hand. He'll run wide, and Ben has an easy save to knock it over to Peterson. Peterson gets up to the hand, runs towards the center of the goal box. It's Alan Morris trying for it off the ground. That's Hayes and Morris in a cul-de-sac of red players, and out comes John Kenny, who collects and heads to the goal box. He'll weak side it into the rafters.
That was a cul-de-sac of emotion there in the corner. Just trying to get the ball loose, get in possession of the ball, get it to the hands. The clearance just hits the rafters up there. And as we all know, if you hit the rafters, it's going to be a free in.
That's right. Could cost you points too if it's coming from the back line. We'll see what Morris does. Alan Morris with the free goes into a crowd, but it's ricochets over to the corner. That's Peterson up against Hayes. There's 2 tall guys going at it near the boards. Hayes trying to get it to his hands. He can. The red team will clear it away to nice pass to Naprala, that's snappy off up against the boards. He makes a move on Foyts. He puts it up and takes the first point of the game.
That was a really great non-preferred side strike from Nappy, under a lot of pressure from Foyt's able to get the score there.
Mercurial for sure.
Mercurial,
There's a ball that trickles into the goal box and then up into Daly. That's Kennedy who scoops it up in the ground hurl over to Hayes, who gets the first step on Peterson. He flicks it back into the green player, Phil, who hand passes over to Alan Morris. Alan Morris puts a heavy strike on it, but it mishits off his thing. His hurl, Bars sends it down the line into the corner. It goes over to that's Fergal Crowley, who collects it in the goal. He's using his legs to head down the boards. He'll hand pass errantly over to a red player. Hayes may be looking to get his point. Instead, drops low, tries to get it to Naprella. Instead, it's to Kennedy in the green. Kennedy collects and takes a short shot. It is knocked down into Kenny's feet, who then sends it down to Crowley, who collects, takes his time, puts a nice play out to Dowling, but he can't collect it. That's Tree who comes back but can't get it. It's a wide open Kennedy who's looking for a shot from half field, and he gets a point.
Yeah, completely unmarked there, Kennedy. He was able to kind of scoop up those crumbs, get a nice score there from the middle of the ground.
This is Anderson, who had a hell of a game. Great pass over to Daly. Daly headed to the center of the field, but he's knocked down. That's Captain Foyt's hand passing over to Allen. Ball trickles down up against the boards as Kenny, who hustles over to get it. Kenny makes a pass to a wide open Hayes. Hayes looks to collect. He does. Oh, he cannot. Tree intercepts it, sends it into the red goal box, but it's knocked out by Bars. Hayes has a better handle on it this time, sends it down to the corner. That's Fergal, Crowley, and Mike Naprala going at it up against the boards. Now there's 4 players all after it, but it's Daly who comes up with it. Daly sees a wide open Paul Anderson, who puts it into the back of the net. He's really showing himself near the end of this season.
Great vision from Matt Daly to create that and see Anderson there loose at the about the middle of the half forward line there.
Marcus Kennedy's shot is intercepted by Daly, who puts it back of the net.
Yeah. Matt Daly dangerous in those situations. He's pretty accurate there. Puck out goes straight to Hayes. Hayes' shot goes wide.
Here comes Kennedy, who collects and heads straight down the field. He's disrupted by Naprala, who then blocks him. There's a ball collected by Daly, who's in a crowd now. He's got to find somebody open. Again, Anderson was ready, but he could not get the ball to him. That's Foyt's hits it over to Kennedy, who looks for a point instead. Say it with me, into the rafters.
Into the rafters.
Yeah.
Outdoors, that'd be a great shot. Indoors, not so much.
No.
Not so much.
You definitely got bring your A game at 6 a.m. That's for sure.
You're pretty low A game, actually. Your low trajectory A game.
Your B list. All right, we're just gonna say your B list. Oh, Ben looking in.
Also,
what is that I hear?
Rafters.
What is that I hear?
Into the rafters again.
All right, so we've got a little bit slower start, but still Red opening up a lead early, just like last week. And we'll see if Green can stem the tide and maybe find some way to score. Instead, it's a ball hit errantly over to Kenny, who's going to run down the sideline. Look at that solo over the line, but he's blocked down by Dowling. The ball goes over to basically a 50-50 ball. That's Naprella and Foyts, but instead Crowley off the line heads over to Kennedy, who feels the pressure, mishits it. He then finds a wide open Rowdy Dowling, who will strike him, and he hits it into the ground. Now Kenny heading right back. He's got an open Naprella, but he's also got a wide open shot, and he takes his point.
Yeah, Kenny able to pick the pocket there in the middle of the ground and take it all the way down for a score.
Kennedy gets the puck out. He chooses not to take his point, but instead a short pass to Morris, and that is not caught. Instead, it's heads into the green area or red area. That's Kenny, who sees a streaking Daly, who grabs it. Then a nice little hand pass over to Derek Hayes. They're really advancing it as a team. Instead, it's wide. The ball is still in play. It's cleared by Dowling into Ben Bars, who's active in the back line, but instead it's into the net. We'll have a sideline cut.
Yeah, unlucky there, Ben Bars. That pass that was intended for Derek Hayes, just a little off target there and into the net for a sideline cut. Looks like Marcus Kennedy's going to take that for the green team.
I should note we've got Brian Murphy refereeing and Brady Terry working the scoreboard. Brady doing yeoman's work here, stepping in when Gray is spread out around. Gray is present here. There's support team, but two of them are working the bench and two of them are working the field. So Brady stepped in. Thank you, Brady. All right, Aaron, hand pass over to Kennedy, who's back. He uses his legs to try and separate from Naprella. Kenny holds him up, but a great hand pass over to Alan Morris, who strikes and puts it in the back of the net.
Great effort by Kennedy there with just to pull the two players off Alan Morris. Alan Morris had a little bit of space there. Good vision for a hand pass directly to him. Results in a three-pointer.
Ben Bars with a hand pass to Mark Smith. New this year. He's able to knock it down, but not collected. I'm sorry, that is not Mark Smith. That's
the lead singer of The Fall.
I'm sorry.
The lead singer of The Fall is
the
here.
very one.
Right back from the grave. Well, I like it.
That is Mark Smith on the green team, and Jobo was there on the red trying to get after him. So this ball is then flicked over to Derek Hayes. Hayes will send it down. No, he won't. Rowdy says, I'm going to stop you. Knockdown. Looks like they're holding hands. No call.
No call. There's no whistle on that. Boys play on.
There is
now
a call.
There is one.
All right.
Would you call that a little bit of a delayed whistle?
He may have given advantage.
You may have called advantage.
middle of the field.
Advantage is a referee's term for I didn't see.
Exactly.
I didn't quite see that.
Exactly.
Or not paying attention. Looking at my watch. Advantage.
All right. So now it is early, even for the ref, and we do appreciate all the guys that give their time into ref. It's not a fun job. Ooh, Allen, I got to call that a mishit. He was probably looking for a goal that went straight up into
It did look like he struck the ball as hard as he could, and a little errant trajectory there.
He comes away with one, though. Hand pass over to Dowling, who's going to strike hard, puts it wide. It's still in play. Alan Morris with the follow. It puts it in the back of the net. Well, with 9 minutes gone, we've got a 8-8 score.
Nice hands there, Crowley.
Crowley looks to.
Nice little flick as
that's
well.
Mark Smith. Mark Smith tries to kick it. It's marked down, and that's Rowdy Dowling who's able to flick it away. But Daly, with always in the right place at the right time, drops it into the goal.
Decent reaction from Crowley there. Just didn't quite get a stick in front. Ricochet into the goal there. Unlucky.
So we've got Kenny Tree with the beautiful hook. That's Hustle coming, trying to hold him down. Instead, the ball is Johnny passed into the boards. That's Jobo still trying to collect it. That's Mark Smith not letting him have it. John Kenny has now come back on the scene. He's trying to collect. Scoop. He gets it. He cuts through the crowd and finds an opening. He's now looking across field, perhaps to hit Daly instead. Rowdy shuts down the attack. The ball is scooped up by Alan Morris. Morris hand pass over. Sees Tree streaking. Will it be Morris? Will it be? It is Tree. Ben came out to try and get it, but could not.
And if I saw Tree streaking in any scenario, I think it would give me pause.
A real nice hand pass to open that up, but Tree had to finish. That's Jobo with a shot on the goal. Instead, it's falls harmlessly to the goal. Mark Smith is not going to let him have another. I don't think he doesn't. He wins that battle. He kicks the ball down the boards nicely over to, I believe that's Eli. Eli hand collects it to his hand, tries hand pass over to Allen. He's got the right idea. Oh,
nice
what a hook on Will.
Nice
Will. Now
Will.
Berg's got it again. He's still got to collect it to his hand or has sent it down the field. Instead, it's Will trying to collect it. Rowdy sneaks in just at the right time, finds an opening, tries to find a lane. Hand passes over to Morris. Morris has got it in the corner. He puts a shot on Ben Bars and scores the goal.
That was a nice passage of play all the way around. There was a lot of defense, a lot of offense, all the basics were there.
Now we got a little bit of a come up from behind and give him a big hug there by Foyts. That's Nappy, who is not averse to hugs. He just doesn't like it when he's trying to collect the ball to the hand, so he'll get the free. Here comes Nappy now. He'll try for a... I'm not sure what he was going for there. It was just a mishit. It heads over to... Perhaps he was trying to get it to Jobo. That may be the strategy.
Instead, that might have been the strategy, but it seems unlikely.
Oh, and then he comes in and gives an unneeded foul.
A little more man love there between red and green.
Yep. So here comes Rowdy, who will collect, flick, and take a free point all the way from that back line.
Nice score from Rowdy.
Here we have the ball moved up to Nappy, finally able to get a chance to get it to his hand, and hand passes over to a space. That's Daly, who has to run back to collect it. He's got it. He makes a stutter step shot across the field and takes his point.
Right back in from Crowley to Alan Morris.
That ball is blocked down now. That's Morris and Looks like Mark Smith still trying to fight for it. Morris heads it back to Crowley. Crowley decides to go short pass to Daly, who sees a streaking Dowling, but instead it's Will Smith. Will Jackson. Summertime. That's all I'm thinking about. Here comes the ball. It's mishit, and that is Rowdy Dowling, who collects and starts heading down the field, but Jobo's giving chase. Can he get there in time to? No, he cannot. It's a hand pass, but the ball is hurried, and instead it's sent to Daly, who puts it into over the back line. We got Morris, who's going to give it a shot.
So you get a point there from the halfback
wide.
flank.
It's called wide. That
ball
ball's
wide.
Ball over to Daly. Daly's going to take his shot on goal. Instead, it's blocked off by Fergal Crowley. I think Morris is still arguing that point. Instead, the ball is live on that end of the field. It's knocked down by Naprella, but it's collected by Dowling, Rowdy Dowling into the goal box. It's Eli Berg giving chase. Ben Bars does his best to escape and does. Ball goes over to Daly. Daly tries for a quick hand pass. Beautiful eyes. Takes a shot. Is Naprella, but it's knocked down by Fergal. That's I believe that's Kevin Hobbins. Hand pass over to Phil. A bit of a hack by Jake, and it's collected by Daly, who puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah, it looks like Phil just mishandled that ball. They've left the door open there for Daly to get a three-pointer.
To his credit, that may have been a bit of a chop down, but we'll see. Ooh, Craig Wagner still trying to keep it going, and despite losing his feet, the ball is then collected by, that's two-time GM Mike Stapleton, sending it down the boards. The ball rolls into the corner. That's Fergal, who hand passes over to a wide-open Kevin Hobbins. Hobbins now has a chance to survey the land. He sends it to an open Phil, who makes a nice flick over to his teammate Dowling. Dowling makes a nice flick over to Craig. Craig's got a shot on goal. Instead, it goes wide. That's Ben Bars who tries to collect it, but Rowdy's not going to give it to him easily. That's Eli Berg trying to get some kind of flick on the goal. It's up against the boards now. Here comes Rowdy Dowling, who's going to take the shot in on the goal, and he gets his goal.
Great move there, Rowdy. Just once he was able to get possession, he ran out. Actually ran away from that pack of players, give himself a little space. A little space is all you need.
Well, with about 11 minutes to go in the first half, the score is 15-18. Close match, much different than our first contest just last week. Ball goes up into the rafters. That's Marcus Kennedy. He'll hand over a free.
Yeah, it looks like Marcus just mishit that one. Great passing today. A lot of great passing across the field. You don't normally see that in this kind of tight space and indoor. Guys usually would just try to go for the point, no matter where they are on the ground. But we're seeing a lot of movement of the ball. A lot of, again, great passing there.
Ball, the free is sent. I'm sorry, was that a goal or a point?
That was a point for Naprella.
Naprella from free. All right. Ball trickles down onto the boards. Phil Foyce with a little bit of time to kind of survey the land. He look like he was trying to get it to Wagner. Instead, it was knocked down. That's Phil still on the ball, though, keeping his eye on it, not giving up. That's Paul Anderson, but instead it's Jake Martell with a goal. Beautiful ground hurl and follow.
Fergal just came off his line there. Had he stayed put, that probably would have been an easy save.
Looks like Derek Hayes is being chased by Tree. What a shot by Derek Hayes on the run. Puts it up in the top shelf.
Just that weaving run that Hayes did just made it just virtually impossible for Tree to get the hook in.
Boy, I tell you, these two teams picked up where they left off in a close match. There's Jake with a smack right across the back of Kevin Hobbins.
Yeah, there was no intention to get the ball there.
Yeah, that may be a stern talking to at best. It could possibly be a card. Nope. Looks like Brian's just going to say, let me give the free out to Green. But that was not. That could not have felt good this early in the morning or any time of the day, quite frankly. Even with daylight savings coming, that would still hurt. By the way, people watching tonight, set your clocks ahead.
I can't remember. Do I spring forward or I spring back? No one knows.
You always spring forward, right?
I don't know.
Oh, crap. All right, we'll see who shows up for the game on time next week. Instead, it's Martell follows and gets a second goal of the game.
Well done, Jake. Power Jake. Yeah, I don't know about the whole daylight savings time. I go contrarian. People like to fall back. I fall forward. That's just how I do it.
You know, it should really be a personal preference kind of thing. Can you imagine how screwed up? All right, so the ball kind of trickles into up against the board. It looks like Tree goes down in a heap. The ball flicked over. Phil, the always reliable Phil Foyt, sends it over to Hobbins, who's able to collect it. Hobbins grabs, takes a swing, but it's knocked down. He's hooked. He's up against two red now, or 300 men of John Kenny, as we like to say. The ball is sent down on the turf. Plenty of time for Kennedy, who's going to try for a shot. Instead, it's wide. He looked for goal. Tree follows, though, but doesn't get it to his hand. That's Hayes, who collects and is looking and surveying the land. Does a great job to find time to look around, but is unable to find his man. That's Morris streaking across the back. Got another man streaking here. The ball off the board into Kenny, who's going to look for nobody really. Maybe try and get it down to Jake. Instead, it's collected by Foyts. Plenty of time here by Kennedy to send it back to Phil Foyt. The captain wants his own goal, takes a shot and puts it into the right side
Nice
of the net.
move. He went left, he went right. Captain's goal there. That was actually a nice move and ended up on a strike from the non-preferred side.
All right.
Well done, Foytsy.
That's Paul Anderson. Paul, if you're listening, I got your name right this game so far 100% of the time, so I think we're doing all right. This is a flick over to Kennedy. Kennedy collects, looks. He sees Phil, the man who just picked up a goal. Now he picks up a point.
Picks up a point. Well done.
You know, the scoring is becoming fast and furious. They only ended their half 30-30 last game. We're already at 25-22 with still 6 minutes, 42 seconds to go in the half. Now, Foyt's looking for more points. Instead of it goes off to the side, and Tree collects it. It looks like lots of steps. He may have dropped it. That's Bars, who comes off his line aggressively and chases it into the corner. He's going to just try and clear it. Instead, it's knocked down by Foyts, who heads over to Morris, who's looking for points. It's blocked down by Will, and that's Derek Hayes, who's going to kind of drift into his own box looking for someone. Instead, Kennedy steps in front. Kennedy's trying a one-handed lift. Sometimes two hands works better in that situation. That's kicked out by... Looked like Jobo was out again. Oh, there's a little action in front of the board. It's collected by Kenny. Kenny's still trying to get it. Mark Smith not letting it easy.
Not letting him easy, huh?
Yeah, that's right. A weak side off the board.
Off the back of his head, it's going to go.
You catch him out of the way like that, and that's Jobo with the goal.
Jobo picking up the crumbs there. The ball deflection off the back of the boards hit Crowley in the back of the head. Stood there. Just there's a little dessert on the play for Jobo. Well done.
That's right. Now we've got Tree collecting it in the goal box. He just is trying to find some way to get it across the line. Instead, Derek Hayes and Ben Bars push him back. That's Morris collects it up to his chest, carries it with his hand, tries a short pass over to Dowling. Instead, it falls to the turf. He has a second chance at this pass. This time, he's not going to be denied. And Dowling puts it over for a point.
Yeah, Morris was had to pass that. He just had no space. He wasn't being given an inch there by Hazy. Looks like Hazy and Will.
All right, so there's Barr sending it down into the corner. If Crowley able to collect, he's headed back into his goal mouth because he sees an open Dowling. Rowdy lifts to his hand. Now he's got a lot of pressure on him by Daly, and he tries to clear it. That pressure forces a bad pass, but Berg is there to pick it up. Hens sends it over to Morris. Morris knows he's got one thing to do, and he does it. He puts it into the net.
Yeah, ran between the two players, was even held, looks like, and was able to get a strike there into for a major score.
I'm sure I saw Brian with his hand up, advantage all the way. He would have been fine. So the ball rolls over to Crowley. Crowley collects it, tries to get it back to Smith with nice hands. Smith grabs it. He understands 4 steps, then collects to his hand again, but it falls to the turf. He kicks it down to Berg. That's Jake, who maybe holds up this time instead of taking it across somebody's shins. Probably wise. I'm sure he's in the book somehow. That the ball collected by Jake. Allen protests, believes he had picked it up right off the turf. Brian Murphy says no. Ball hit off the ground over to Morris, who's going to put on the tack. Bars over, but can't get his stick on the ball.
Yeah, Morris with the pretty much typical score. He's only had one defenseman on him in that particular case. Crowley not able to take it cleanly. Puts himself under pressure there.
I tell you, you got red guys really falling into the right spot to collect that garbage, and they're causing hell for the back line and the goalie. The ball hit over to Morris, over to Dowling, but he's unable to get it to Kennedy. Instead, it's over to Paul Anderson, but he's just having a tough time collecting it. Rowdy, I think, trying to get position, instead pushes on the back and called for a foul.
Yeah, unlucky there, Dowling. I think he was just trying to make space for himself to collect the ball and just took a player with him in the process.
Nappy taking the free. Shot hard, but knocked down by Kennedy. The ball rolls to the corner and is hit off the ground. That's Kenny who's decided to send it right back. Fergal pops it up into the air. Or perhaps that was Kevin Hobbins. Now we've
Yeah, it
got,
looked like
what is it,
deflection off Kevin.
65.
Yeah, 65. Kind of a mishit by Kenny, deflected off Kevin Hobbins to go wide. The defenseman knocking the ball out, so we're gonna have 65.
Daly's going to try this free. Looks like they're sharing the Nappy and Daly sharing the responsibilities, neither really coming up with a score. Instead, that goes off the boards and wide. Kennedy uses all his steps. He's going to hop the ball on his hurl to Solo, circles back to find some space. It goes wide. That's Ben Bars trying to get it over. That's Jake who's having a solid game, sends it over, but instead it's collected by Dowling. Dowling coming right back with the ball. He tried to find Berg, but it was sent back. Dowling on top of it, though, flicks it over to the opposite field. He's still looking for Berg. Berg with the hands. Can he finish? No. Bars puts his stick on top of it and sends it over to the side. That's Alan Morris who's going to collect. He's looking, and he decides to use his legs and attack and draws a foul.
Yeah, just running through two players again, trying to split the defense there, and just got his legs tangled up. Fortunately, very happy to fall to the turf, Alan Morris, and get a free in.
Alan Morris with the free here. He takes his point. That's better than nothing, I suppose.
Yep. Morris a bit disappointed with himself. He was definitely going for the major score there.
With 1:40 to go in the first half, we've got green 30, red 28. Ball sent over to Nappy, ends up in the net.
Yeah, Nappy using a word that we're not allowed to say on television.
That's right.
Fire truck.
I believe he did say fire truck.
He said fire truck.
Yep, he was selling fudge earlier. That's fine too, but we got to be careful. We correct and let the let the YouTubers understand what's being said.
I've never been known to swear during passes of play ever.
Kennedy desperately trying to hold back Naprella. He forces a bad shot. That's Fergal who collects it, hand passes over to the sure-handed Rowdy Dowling, sends it down. Again, he's looking for Berg. Instead, it's Martel, who's been solid back there, sends it over, and Kenny pulls it out of the air. Kennedy decides he'll just take the foul, I would imagine, in...
Yeah, professional foul there. Kenny had Marcus beat. Marcus said, I'll just hold it past the player. Give us a chance at stopping a shot.
It would appear that Captain Daly has opted to have Nappy take the close shots and have Daly, the taller player, stand in front of the goal when they're down in front there. The ball is blocked, a nice block, whoever had that. But it comes back to Naprella, who does not give up on it and puts it right into the corner of the net.
Naprella deflected the puck out back to Marcus Kennedy.
Kennedy sends it in another deflection. Boy, everyone's jumping on the ball here, not giving an inch. That's Morris using that sweet move down the line, but it's blocked down by Ben, just doing enough to keep it away from his back line. Berg tries to get on it. That's the buzzer.
Just runs out of time there, the new kid on the block.
And at halftime,
step by step, he's progressing there, whoever that was up front.
I think that was Berg. Eli Berg. I do believe it's red 31, green 30. Would you like to do a Pabst Blue Ribbon trivia question?
I would absolutely love to.
I think you're going to like this one.
Oh, okay.
I think you're going to like this one.
Alan Morris. No. Okay,
it could be. You never know. All right. Now, it's a difficultly worded question, so pay attention here, people at home.
I'm fluent in English, so I think I got a shot.
What hailstones have either played alongside or against a brother in a hurling match?
Alongside.
Okay.
So
your answer. Let's give the listeners a chance to think on it, and I'll have you finish maybe at the end of our halftime show. How's that?
All right. Sounds good.
I'm sure one comes immediately to your mind.
Just one.
Okay. All right. So, what do we got? We got a 5-minute halftime here. Let me see if I can add up these stats while you maybe give a little bit of your perspective here, Heath.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta hand it to the club in general. Some hurling skills on display here. A lot of great passing, both from the hand and from the stick. Some of the newer players certainly showing some promise. And I really, the score obviously tells the tale. 1 point in it. Very, very, very evenly matched. I think Crowley and Ben Bars are doing a great job in the goals. I guess the line of demarcation, if I had to draw one, is going to be can both defenses hold their shape? Because if you have a situation where your subbing starts to get your back line disorganized, that's going to let the Alan Morrises or the Derek Hayeses or the Matt Dailies really take advantage. In a 2 or 3 minute burst here in the second half could give that side of margin that just can't be overcome. But again, you couldn't have two sides more evenly matched, in my opinion.
Well, feels like deja vu all over again. Last game,
I've heard that before.
these two matched up. It was 30-30 at halftime.
Was it really?
Here we have great job over there by Brady Terry. By the way, a fast-paced game, and he's spot on with that scoreboard. We have red with 9 goals and 4 points. The high score, Matt Daly at 3-1. And with green, we have 8 goals, 6 points. Green switching over a lot more point heavy than in games past. And their high score, of course, is the always available, always scoring Alan Morris with 5 goals and 2 points. However, Green has spread it out a lot more than they did last game. So 31-30. Two teams evenly matched going at it. It looks like their subs have done what typically subs are. We got Tree subbing in on green. I think he's playing for Connor Drelishek. Actually, the two Connors are out. Red's missing Connor Jones, and they brought in Will Smith. I've seen some play. I've seen him.
They brought in Will Smith from West Philadelphia?
Will Smith.
West Philadelphia.
Will Jackson. I don't know what's going on this morning. Will, sorry about should we just go with Will Smith?
I think we're just going to call him Will Smith.
I think I'm having a tough time.
His new nickname. He was the handbreaker. Now he's the Fresh Prince.
I think the Fresh Prince works much better, and he'll probably like that. But I think it's because he's got a Smith on his team, and it could be
that's Mark. That's Mark
that.
E. Smith, the recently deceased lead singer of the Fall.
Oh man,
yeah.
I think that may be it. All right, are you ready?
Should we
do the trivia?
Enough of that.
Everybody's
right,
like,
I've been thinking about it. All right.
What's next? H&R Puffin stuff? That's what they're gonna ask. We need to get some more recent guys. All right, so
Prof Super Show on Saturday morning.
Let me hear those brothers that you believe have either played alongside each other or against each other.
All right, so the Morris brothers, Alan Morris's brother,
Alan and Darren. Yes.
Alan and Darren. You had the Kenny brothers.
We got Jason and Johnny.
We got the Jones brothers.
Connor and Liam.
Yes. Not the Jonas brothers.
No.
The Jones
Thank
brothers.
God.
yeah. True. All right, who am I missing? The Moore brothers.
God dang it, Heath. That's what I thought for sure. Yeah, Heath and Jeremy Moore. Yeah.
Brother,
all right.
My own brother.
Now, the following two, I will tell you, have actually not played on the same field with each other, on the same team, although one may have, but really come from other clubs and have either played against us or maybe played alongside on like a tournament. So these are way tough.
So brothers that played against each other for opposing clubs.
Yes.
Holy moly. Kenny. No.
Nope, they're together. All right, you're never going to come up. Well, we've got Ben and Jeff Bars.
That's right.
They actually played together once or twice down in Chicago.
That's right. Yep.
I think Jeff is a Cusack. I'm really stretching.
Yeah,
At one time.
I don't like Jeff anymore.
No, Jeff, if you're listening,
Terrible club.
we love you.
Terrible club.
We love you. All right, Mike and Peter Leiterman.
That's right.
They played against each other in the Midwest tournament, and then we have Patrick and Tom Horelli. A long time ago, Patrick was a Hailstone, and his brother Tom came in from.
That might have been a little bit before my time.
Yeah, real early on.
Which means there were dinosaurs on the field.
Now, before we get the throw-in, can we get the brothers-in-law? Let's get back to the brothers-in-law at some point that have played together.
All right. When we get the next injury timeout.
There are two sets of brothers-in-law, and we'll return. All right, so the ball is thrown in, and it's time to play again. Looks like no point given. It looks like it must have been knocked down. That's Daly who takes the shot and into the back of the net for Red to start off the second half.
Crowley with the puck out. It goes right through the stick of Kennedy into the corner.
Looks like Ben decided to come out a little more this half, at least for this play. Sends it over to a wide open Derek Hayes. Got time, and that's Craig Wagner who tries to deflect or disrupt the pass. That's Rowdy who takes a hard shot. It's hit into the white helmeted Craig Wagner who's starting this half. A hand pass out to Derek who gives chase, but Rowdy Dowling stands him up. That's Kennedy collects, runs great space and tries to hit, but it's blocked down by Daly. Daly's got to attack instead. Kennedy is able to recollect, and he finds Foyt's Green has every one of their players over the half field now. It's Kennedy who's trying to collect it, but he's pushed back a bit. I think that looks to me like Daly. Daly, someone kicks it down to Foyts, who finds an open Rowdy. Again, Green just putting the full press. They have almost all their players over the opposing 13-meter line. They're going all for broke, it looks like.
Yeah, a lot of pressure there from Green.
Well, here we go, in for 65. You got those brothers-in-law that come to mind?
Brothers-in-law. So you've got Foyts Morris.
Phil Foyts and Ellen Morris. I'd like to give a shout out to Deborah Foyts and Helen Morris, two of our biggest fans. Lots of likes.
Thanks for all the breeding. We appreciate it.
That's right. Is that a point from Free for Nappy?
That was a point from
Free. I believe that was
Free from Naparella. Puck out coming.
All right, ball trickles over to Naprella, who darts across the field. He's headed to a corner. Difficult angle, but not for him. Goal for Naprella.
Naparella with a nice strike there from the corner. Not a lot of room to work with there.
Naprella asserting himself up in the front line. That's Daly, who looks like he's going to attack with his legs. It's Ben Bars, who gets down on the ground, is able to knock it down. But, oh, I'm sorry, was that Crowley? I'm sorry, Bars is on the other end now. Crowley with the deflection, but into the goal. Matt Daly. All right, that ball flicked over against the boards. Marcus Kennedy picks up a point.
Marcus Kennedy says, "I'd like a point, please," and takes it. That was nice. Didn't have a lot of. It was under pressure and didn't have a lot of room.
Helping Green to break the seal for the second half. That's their first score. Ben Barr surveys the land. A great little puck out over to Anderson. Anderson tries to collect it up against the boards, but Marcus disrupts him. Oh, great lift by Paul Anderson. Anderson heads it over to Hayes. Now he's got Daly, who he can pass to, or he's going to send it down the field. Hand pass over to Nappy, trying to get it to him. That's Kennedy running it, but Derek Hayes deflects it over. Nappy decides to take his point.
Nappy collect the ball there very quickly, kind of surveyed the landscape and said, points are nice, I'll take one.
All right, puck out, strange kind of puck out scene there, but anyway, we got a kick by Daly, who's trying to hand. Oh, he saw an open Naprella, but he wasn't open enough because Rowdy saw it too. Rowdy collects, roll lift, runs across the 13-meter line. He may be looking to score. He's got one thing on his mind, sends it into the back of the net.
Yeah, a little tangled up there. Rowdy had the presence of mind to say, maybe I'll change direction and get my major score there, and end up getting.
John Kenny finds it first. He gets the ball to his hand. He's being held up, but the referee's saying, hey, you can armbar over there. Looks like Kenny decides to just brute force his way down the boards. He's having trouble collecting it. There's no whistle. Now there's a whistle.
No, that's a whistle. I think you'll call a throw in there. Referee had his hand on the whistle the whole time, whistle to his mouth, ready to go, just waiting for an actual free. There was just a lot of two players just tangled up with each other. Said, we'll toss it in and start over, fellas.
Rulebook says if you see both teams fouling each other and you can't really discern who fouled first, you just do a throw, and I think that was a great call. Now this is obviously a hold. No, I guess he's going to let him play. That's Paul Anderson muscling his way down. He puts it off the boards. It's flicked off the ground by Foyce, but into the hands of Daly, and Daly will take his point.
Daly with a nice reactive score there. Just picked up a little crumbs there and able to make a point out of it.
Ball hit to the ground to Alan Morris. Probably first time he's been one-on-one with anybody in a while, but he just can't get it over to an open tree. Instead, Derek Hayes snatches it out of the ground, out of the air. Paul Anderson is blocked down by Rowdy, who's covering him tightly. Alan Morris back to help out. But Paul Anderson continues moving forward and tries to put it on goal. It's knocked down by Crowley, who finds an open Morris. Morris sees tree, but is he going to? Nope. It's
nice hook there from Naparella.
Not only does he not hook him, but he was able to get position and pass it over to Daly. Daly collects it and puts the ball on goal, but it's knocked back instead to Anderson. I'm sorry, but off the ground, a great pass by Anderson over to Naprella.
Tremendous passage of play there. You had a hand pass with a stick, with actually a flick to Naparella, who took it out of the air for a score.
The puck out goes off, I believe, tree, but is chased down by Ben Bars. Boy, a lot of action up against that board, but you can. I don't know that you can use your stick, but you can use some means to kind of armbar. He's running to the corner, puts it wide, but it's Mark Smith unable to get the deflection. He does collect it nose to head towards the goal. Great job, Mark. That's collected, though, by Kenny, who runs hand pass to an open Naprella. Naprella has Jake Martell open in the corner, but not for long. Rowdy runs down to cover that space. But instead, Nappy makes his own opportunities and puts it over the bar.
Yeah, good hip and shoulder there against Foyts to make a little space for himself to get that score.
With about 6 minutes gone in the second half, we have a 46-35 game. Red really coming out strong. Green a little flat. Let's see what they can do. Flick is rejected by Bars, but then picked up by Foyts, and he picks up his point.
Foyt's just kind of hanging there at the half-forward line, ready for something to spit out. It did. He was able to get an easy point there.
All right, we got a couple
10
of
points in.
Got a couple of dangling brothers-in-law. Why don't I finish off that question? The other pair of brothers-in-law who played together would be Peter Drury and Mike Leiterman.
Yes.
Little known fact, brothers-in-law. But that is the completion of our Brothers in Arms trivia question for this week. Thanks everybody for playing, and thank you Pabst Blue Ribbon for that wonderful trivia question.
Delicious beer, Pabst Blue Ribbon. You should have one.
With a brother.
With a brother.
All right, fantastic.
Or another brother.
All right, if you will. Here comes Phil Foyce, puts it on goal. It's knocked down by Ben Bars. Ben Bars over to Kevin Hobbins, who a college student, got up early this morning. Good for you. And that's Matt Daly, who collects and looks, and he does a weak side to a wide open Jake Martello, or does Fergal say not so fast? He does. He gets position, and he's pinning it up against the board. Jake does not want to get ticked again. He is struggling. Brian Murphy wisely lets him play. There is no foul there, no problem. He's able to get it. Rowdy uses his legs to find open space. He tries to get it to Dowling, but that's a tough pass on the run. But to Morris. Morris sends it across the field. Will pushes, shoves, runs his way through, but instead it's Phil Foyts tries to get it in to the masses. Something's going on here. Did Will pick that up off the ground?
He picked it up off the ground. In West Philadelphia, that might be illegal, but it certainly isn't here.
How about that save by Ben Bars and that alertness by Matt Daly to snatch it out of the air? Phil Foyts picks it up. He's going to take his shot. It's knocked down by Ben Bars. There's nothing to come of it. Instead, it's ricocheted off the board. Matt Daly looking for an open Jobo. Jobo's giving chase. He's still got a chance. It's Kennedy who picks it up and sends it down into the board. Says Ben Bars now, who's got it collected. This is a dangerous situation for Red. Alan Morris knows what to do and picks it and puts it right into the goal.
Yeah, Ben Bars just misjudged that bounce, let it come off the boards, didn't realize, hey, there's other players on the field and they're coming fast. Alan Morris able to capitalize on that uncharacteristic error from Ben Bars.
Well, Heath, you and I have been in that goal box and know how terrifying that can be.
It sucks.
That's a shot wide. good color on that. Kennedy sends it wide. The ball ricochets to Morris, who also sends it wide. But Eli Berg's got it to his hand. Green is putting on the full court press, and Eli Berg with the goal.
Eli Berg, the new boy. Look at him go. He got a 3-point, a major score, and that's great stuff to see from a new player.
Oh, yeah. All right, that's Marcus. Kennedy collects. He's held back by Jobo, who wants to tap him on the shoulder and does, but Kennedy doesn't really get dissuaded. That's Alan Morris with the foul falling to the ground.
It's a story of crumbs. They're there. If you pick them up, they're there. Only 1 point in it now. There was a 10-point margin at one stage. Now we're back to 1 point.
Alan Morris falling to the ground is able to strike it just enough to put it into the back of the net. Now the ball trickles over, things slowing down a bit, it would seem, from the fast and frantic pace. Teams catching their wind. Hobbins with a nice clear, sends it down to guess who? Eli Berg, who's really making a mark here. He's got it collected. He wants more. Instead, it's deflected by Jackson. That's Morris up against the mountain here. He hand passes over to Kennedy, who hand passes back to Morris, who sends it into the goal. It's knocked down by Daly. Daly collects it with a nice roll lift. He finds an open. No, he does not. He looks for an Naprella, but he's covered heavily by Hobbins. Fergal Crowley collects it and sends it over to Foyts, who now wide open. Hobbins wisely sends it to Kennedy, who can advance with his feet. He looks for a point. It's deflected wide.
Yep.
Deflected wide. No point.
Yep.
All right.
That was the 65 deflected off the defensive player. Yep. Deflected off the mountain. Will Smith, handbreaker. He's got so many names. He's got so many names.
We are contractually obligated to say we are drinking the delicious blueberry mountain flavor Gatorade every time the mountain's nickname is mentioned. So there you have it. Thank you, Gatorade. The ball sent to the corner.
Actually, I'm not going to drink Gatorade. I'm going to have a delicious Pabst Blue Ribbon instead. It's got carbs. It's got water. It's, the water is so pure. It won the Blue Ribbon for crying out loud.
They have come out with the new new 78 ouncer that is called the Mountain Can, so we'll go with that.
Nice.
Yeah, they're in,
Very
they're in,
nice.
they're in trademark infringement battles with Coors, but it's worth it to call it the Mountain. So here we go. Held back by Hobbins, Naprella pushing and shoving, but running into the boards. Fergal wisely steps off to help out his defensive team, but the green has definitely fallen back from their full court press. They got 4 guys now in the goal box, but a great hand pass over to Morris. Can't collect it to the hand. He's just trying to contain him. Is Daly. No, he's just one-on-one on the world's most dangerous shooter, and he puts it into the back of the net.
Yeah, Allen just was able to move to his right there, just create a little space. Daly just not able to stay in front of him and keep him under pressure.
Quick flick by the goalie Ben is not collected, and instead it's rolls over to Fergal, who tries to get it to Tree. It's hit on the ground to Kenny. Kenny's got fresh legs. I haven't seen him out here in a while. He's going to try and Johnny pass that over to Naprella. Instead, he heads over to the goal. Ball trickles over to a one-on-one, nope, 2-on-1 situation. Ben Barris wisely comes out and gets to that ball before Allen can. Dealing with the shot, it trickles across the ground and sends over to Fergal. Fergal surveys and sends it to his main scorer, Morris. Ben wisely decides to try and disrupt it instead of letting Allen get it. That's Tree and Daly. Boy, we got a lot of tall guys on this team, don't we, Heath?
Yeah, I like the old days when the average height was about 5 feet.
Exactly.
Now
exactly.
yeah.
I tell you, I look like a member of the Munchkin clan every time we do a team picture, and I'm 5'10".
Yeah, well.
Well, I'm getting shorter, older.
It's old age.
Yeah, it's well-known scientific.
That's why I take Geritol.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Geritol.
The following 5 minutes brought to you by Ensure.
Sure.
The sure way to make it to your 80s. All right, so it's Ben Bart. ARP is actually asking me if I want to do some sponsorship. I will be eligible for my card in about a year and a half. So here we go. Oh, a shot into the back of the net by Johnny Kenny keeps the score tight.
Yes, and the AA 1 point in it on the AARP scoreboard.
The ball trickles over to Ben Barris, who's given some trouble by Tree. The ball heads over to Johnny Kenny. Johnny Kenny looking to send it into the scoring area, and Naprella collects it. He hand passes over to Paul Anderson. Anderson unable to collect it. Rowdy instead is able to collect it on the run. A difficult lift on this turf. He gets it down. A nice flick over to Ben, or over to Morris. Ben tries to stand him up, and he collects the ball. Somehow blocks it. But Morris knows how to find the net. Daly's attempt to cover goal just isn't enough, and it's a goal by Morris.
Puck out coming from Ben Bars. A little short one to Kenny. Kenny bobbles.
Can't collect it, but instead he catches it on the run. Oh, Kennedy. I believe he even had him long enough to switch hurls from one hand to the other. That's
Kennedy with some man love there, just holding them up. That's one way to do it, I suppose. There's only 2 points in it.
That's right. Here comes Kenny looking for any kind of a score. It's deflected over the bar. He'll get a point off of free. Johnny Kenny.
Puck out in. Ricochets off the middle of the boards, middle of the ground.
Alan Morris falls to the ground. It's Kennedy, though, who collects it. He sees Tree open, but boy, just an easy hook. Not no hook's easy, but Daly able to get great position there. Ball in front of the net. It's Ben. He's playing with fire there. Sends it over to Mark Smith, who knows what to do. Use your legs if you're a new player. If you're all you kids watching, if you get it to your hands, use your legs. It's the one thing you've been doing your whole life, and you're able to at least create some space. Daly, though, again uses his leg to create space with, dare I say, an easy point to the opposite post.
Yeah, that's going to be a major score every time from Matt Daly. He just is a bit too skillful. The more space he gets, the more likely he's going to do something with it.
Is that a Fergal Crowley shot that into the
rafters?
Little Wang Chung, bang a gong.
Bang a gong. Is that Wang
Get
Chung?
It on.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Wang Chung.
Oh, everybody Wang Chung tonight? No,
Everyone Wang Chung
tonight. Oh, well, that's Daly who puts it in the back of the net. Who sings Bang a Gong then?
What do you mean who sings Bang a Gong?
Have a ball, bang a gong. All right, we'll spare the rest of it for maybe the Club Tavern.
I've been dancing when I was 12.
All right, so that was Daly. Did he get a goal on that?
We were too busy. We were too busy singing. I'm sorry, I missed that one.
Question mark in the goal box. I think that did go in the back of the net. So that's Naprella looking to send it in to the back of the net. It's deflected, but it's Mark Smith wisely sticks with it. He hand passes over to Dowley. The ball is still alive. Dowling sends it over to Alan Morris, but instead it's Kenny who collects it off the boards. Tree gives chase. Alan Morris probably with a foul, bit of a push in the back.
It was T-Rex, by the way, just so you know.
Oh,
T-Rex.
All right.
Just want to make sure that everyone knows that it was T-Rex.
Why didn't I say that for a passively written trivia question? You see that games, and I'm running out of ideas. All right, Matt Daly with the shot, knocked down by Dowling, who then sends it over to Kennedy. Kennedy puts it into the corner. That's Ben Bars, who tries to collect it, keeps it out of the net, makes a little shuffle move that avoids Craig Wagner, puts it off the net. The ball ricochets over to Crowley. Crowley sends it down to Tree. A nice shoulder on Hayes does not. The ball ends up heading down to the corner, but that leaves Hayes actually wide open for a nice hand pass by Daly. The ball goes wide off the boards. Derek Hayes has run the full length of the field. Now he's looking to finish with some kind of point. He puts it in on goal, but it's blocked down by Dowling. Dowling sends it back. Kennedy cannot collect it. It's two men fighting right in front of the booth here. Front row seats, Heath. That's Kennedy, who sees a streaking Dowling. Hand passes down the middle of the field. Daly won't give up. He's now covering two men across the center of the field. The ball trickles over to Dowling. He's trying to get it. Daly is now on his third man that he's covered. The ball heads over to Tree. Tree lifts and tries to get into the red zone. He's able to get it, but instead it's trickled out to Kennedy with another hold. That's got to be a yellow pretty soon here, Heath, don't you think?
You'd think that he would say, look, son, you got to stop doing that for nothing else, just to keep the flow of the play going.
What's the sense in not doing it if you're just going to be well, a free does hurt often, but not this time. It's knocked down by Dowling.
If the clock ticks down, though, that's going to be a factor. That's right. Just to waste a little bit of time.
Phil
I like his style.
Phil Foyt's over to Berg. Berg's got a chance, but instead it's collected by Hayes. Heath, you want to pick up on the play-by-play here? So
yeah,
see
sure.
If that was a goal or not?
So you got a shot. Daly was able to pass across the ground, cut off by Foyts. Foyts blocked that down. Naparella says, "Get off my back, son!" And Foyts goes right over the top of Morris or Naparella. Looks like it's going to be a free. Looks like a free out.
Yeah, I believe that was a goal by Daly. Now, looking at the score, however, I think I must have missed one other goal as well. So this game is a close one. It's going to come down to the wire. That ball is flicked into the air, and Jake Martell tries to get after it. He can't quite collect it. That's Craig Wagner trying to get on the ball. That's Nappy, who hand passes over to Paul Anderson. Anderson is met by Smith. Anderson over to Naprella. Naprella takes his point.
Puck out coming from Crowley.
Play by while I look at the green score here.
Yep. Okay, Crowley with a nice short puck out. Looks like it's going to Rowdy Dowling. Rowdy Dowling, the strike across the ground into the corner. Finds the new kid, Eli, or whatever his name is. He's new. We like him. Kenny running from halfback, run through, just takes the man on. Looks like he took on Phil Foyts. Phil Foyts able to create a little disruption there, in the so a bounce pass to Rowdy. Rowdy, the long strike, avoids the rafters, goes wide, unfortunately. Puck out, Green finds the net. So an error actually was red with the puck out, so we're going to get a sideline cut. Looks like Phil Foyts is going to take that sideline cut for us. About 5 minutes left, 6 points in and on the AARP Geritol scoreboard.
All right, I'm back. Were there any scores there, Heath?
No scores at all.
It looks like we'll have to rely on the scoreboard here. I'm off, I think our Wing Chun / T-Rex reset may have thrown me off on the stats, but hey, we'll get that right in the replay. So this is Fergal Crowley using his legs to power his way forward. That's Kevin Hobbs, who's going to lift and look for, he sees a streaking Phil, and he finds him. Phil's going to take that shot. It goes off wide. That's Berg looking for the crumbs. Instead, it's bounced too far for him to chase down, or is it? He gets great position on Kenny. He keeps his legs moving. He wants a goal as Alan Morris follows the ricochet, and he puts it into the back of the net.
A lot of crumbs there. Alan Morris was able to get a nice slice of the crumb pie, as it were.
Delicious. So that's, I think you're just eating the crust there, Heath.
Oh, okay,
right,
I'm sorry,
so
whatever.
Here comes Dowling, who falls, but was just stood up by Kenny, according to Brian Murphy, who's going to hand pass to another streaking Phil. This time he won't be denied, or he is. Ben ricochets it to the side, but that's Eli Berg, who's fantastic at getting on those deflections. Matt Daly stutter steps and looks to the corner. Who's this? But two-time GM Mike Stapleton. It goes off the boards. It's followed by Paul Anderson. He's got some position here. Mike Stapleton looking to somehow put his foot on it. Anything? It's in. I believe.
Oh, you have to call it a goal. I have no idea. I'm sorry.
It's going to be Mike Stapleton who will give a goal to.
It's a puck. Yeah, it's a goal.
Yeah,
Free
just
range.
the boys just drive the ball in.
To Mike Stapleton, who gets on the stats sheet. Ball trickles over to Hobbins. Hand pass over to guess who is streaking? Phil Foyts. This time he takes a point.
Just 1 point. Someone get that boy some pants. He's streaking all over the place apparently. 5 points in it.
This is quite a show of overlap, passing, and just really being on top of the ball. 3 minutes to go, 60-55. Red holding on to a lead. Neither team willing to show a weakness and call a timeout. Instead, they're just going to keep playing. Napralla's knocked down. Napralla looking to collect it to his hand. He does. He's got a stutter step look, but is blocked down by Phil Foyts. Green looking to Alan Morris. This could be huge. It goes off the boards. It's collected maybe by Will Ben Bars, keeping his head, makes a nice little tap over to John Kenny. John Kenny using his power, runs with his legs. Johnny passes it off the ground, heads over to Dowling, who tries to get it Alan Morris. Derek Hayesno has one job, and that is to spend the next 2.5 minutes holding back Alan Morris. Now there's quite a scrum over here. Look out, boys. Everybody careful here. Look out, Alan. The ball is collected by Paul Anderson, who uses quick feet to get it over to Daly. He puts it in the back of the net.
A little, I was lucky there wasn't a whistle blowing there. There was a lot of grabbing, a lot of pulling and shoving there in that passage of play.
Red separating now, 63-55 with just 2 minutes to go. I wonder if Green is thinking maybe timeout to get themselves together for 2 minutes. Ben Bars collects it and hands it over to Nappy, but instead it's knocked down. John Kenny's going to just see if he can't make more separation. Instead, he puts it over wide, and it's a free.
You can really feel the intensity here. Rides here with about 1.5 minutes going. Quick puck out.
At the Michael J. Stotts Field, where the players play, there's always intensity. Nobody's ever got the game salted away until the final whistle. Rowdy Dowling sends it down into a nice slot, and Alan Morris is there to get past Ben Bars.
Crumbs, there's no more crumbs. Alan Morris is taking all the crumbs. He just capitalizes on those.
We have a 5-point game with 76 seconds to go. As Daly, there's plenty of time to score 5 points. Daly trying to collect it. It's knocked down by Dowling. I'd say there's quite a scrum. Another jersey pull. Boy, I tell you. He's not doing his team any favors by stopping the clock.
No, he doesn't. It's probably just a bit of frustration on Kennedy's part, but
a block down. Red looking for goal. Interestingly, not trying to make it a 6-point game. Instead, Dowling sends it over to Johnny. Johnny is met by Tree. Tree's not going to give up here. 40 seconds is still enough time to get back in this game, but Green's got to get a handle on it. It's being controlled by Red. Red's just taking 35 seconds. This is going to be tough for Green to recover if Nappy can get a point, and he can.
Nappy under tremendous pressure there from Phil Foyts, just not giving him an inch.
The ball sent to Morris. He's going to try and do his best. He knows how to lean into his player. There's
Looks like a timeout.
Whistle.
Is there a timeout
called? No, there can't be a timeout. That's too soon. Is someone injured?
Looks like a timeout has been called.
The clock has been reset to 25 minutes. Good, congratulations. Free hurling, apparently, we're going to play here. The game. What's going on here?
No one knows.
Well, we do have 6 minutes till we have to get off the field. So
no one knows what's going on. There's mass confusion here.
The teams have been asked to come out and shake hands. What? Oh, a timeout. Obviously, a timeout was
There's
called.
no shaking of
hands. There was a timeout called before the puck out. I have to believe someone wasn't allowed to call a timeout in the middle of play. That would be strange.
That would be strange. It would be just contrarian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unorthodox.
All right. Unorthodox.
A 25-second, 6-point game. Do you see any way the Green can get back into this?
It can happen. It can happen. I've seen it happen.
On the brink. You cannot win this league if you have only 2 wins and 4 losses, and they're on the brink of picking up their 4th loss.
Here we go. 25 seconds. Puck into the corner.
Every Green game has been a close one, but they just haven't been on the right side of it. It looks to me like they are going to have a real challenge of putting it into the goal. Instead, it's knocked down by Ben Bars, that was Derek, who sends it over to Daly. But Daly, boy, the captain is not going down without a fight. The ball heads over to Kennedy. Kenny, who's been on top of him all game, stops him. That's Daly who puts it on, and that's no point. And that is the end of a very entertaining game.
Very entertaining game.
Red wins 64-58. We got to talk man of the match at some point.
We will have to talk man of the match. Looks like, is there going to be a free in? No free in.
No, I guess it wouldn't affect the game, only the stat sheet. So the referees wisely said, look, we got 5 minutes.
Gretsch is calling.
Gretsch is calling.
Hey, it's 7 a.m. Where are you?
Yeah, it probably is 7 a.m. now that I think about it. Well, anyway, my son should be here playing soccer, but I bet you he slept through it.
Oops a daisy.
Yes. All right. So here we got man of the match prospects. Give me 3 candidates for Team Red who you really thought took control of the game.
For Team Red, took control of the game. Matt Daly, I thought Ben Bars actually did a pretty good job in goal. Naparella was a force. Derek Hayes, typical Hazy.
Sure.
Naparella was able to create. So yeah,
well spread around the board.
Yeah,
sure.
that's a pretty deep bench.
I'd say somebody who really asserted himself on both halves was probably Mike Naprella or Matt Daly. Two real strong presences in the game. I see Mark Smith picking those cameras up. Much appreciated, Mark. So I guess we'll have to sign off here unless you got any kind of other wrap-up. Just another great red-green matchup. These 2 are instant classics. They came down to the wire.
The clash between traditional rivals.
Oh, these 2 are going to go down in history. The classic green-red matchup. There's nothing like it.
Quality early since 1947. I love it.
All right, partner. Another good broadcast. Appreciate you coming in this early. I had fun. Thanks, everybody. This will conclude our broadcast of the 9th installment of the 2018 Madison Hurling Club of Madison indoor hurling season. Have a good morning, everybody. I'm here with Matt Daly, man of the match. Matt, it's a heck of a game out there. It looks like Red's really got the Greens number. What is your take on why your team won tonight?
Well, I wouldn't say that we had their number. We came out the winners, but Green played tough. Good team. We needed the win. We want to control our destiny. We have 2 games left this year. Next up's Gray here in a few weeks. So yeah, it was a tough game. The guys did just enough. We shut down Allen just enough, and we did what we had to do.
Well, congratulations to you and your red team. The only other question I have is, what's for breakfast?
Going to go with the early bird, the one without the pancakes.
All right, early bird the one without the pancakes. You heard it here. Back to you.